The Riftbind is a flying. Riftbind for 7 of his own. We're going Riftbind for 7, back and forth. Back and forth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to HometownTcg. You guys know me, my name is Josh, and you probably start to know this guy too.
Yeah, I'm Ian, again.
This is Ian again, and we have an exciting match of FaB Competitive League. This is off-meta week between HometownTcg Ascent and Team Kitchen Fable, and I gotta tell you guys, this one feels personal. Ian, are you up for the challenge? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So we're not going to play the big three, no Prism, Viserai, or Bravo Star of the show. So I get to rock Chane again this week, and pretty excited about it.
And you did a deck tech on Chane, and you played some Chane last week, so you were feeling good about Chane. What are you going to try to do going into this match?
Well, my opponent played Lexi the last 2 weeks. Now, that doesn't mean that he has to play Lexi this week, but we're going to try and maneuver around some of the ice effects if he is on Lexi, and if not, we'll either shift to our fatigue game plan if he's on a fatigue deck, or, you know, we'll put in a different aggro package maybe if he's on, like, Bolt or something.
And this one should be interesting because traditionally, archers have given Chane a problem with some niche hit effects. Azalea was kind of a weird meta counter to Chane if she could get going.
Yeah. The losing a health every time you do an action when you want to play like 5 seeds out of your banish kind of hurts a lot. So,
well, we don't have to worry about that with no seeds, but good luck. Do you have any final words of encouragement going into this match?
I don't think so. I'm ready to kick some butt.
That's what I love to hear. And if you guys want to learn how to play Chane or even how to play FaB from players like Ian, you got to join us at patreon.com/HometownTcg. You can sign up for coachings. We're giving away 4 coachings in the next 30 days. That's $120 value. We're giving these things away. You guys have a chance to win them. Get in the Patreon, join the Discord, get a chance to win from these awesome players. But until you guys get in here for now, let's jump into this gameplay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game, but something interesting happened during the recording session. It seems that the audio is bugged. However, I was able to get an awesome video file. So we're gonna miss out on some of that player banter that we normally see, but I'm gonna do my best to fill in all the sweet moments that happen in this insane Chane mirror. You're not gonna wanna miss a beat. Let's get into today's gameplay. So again, as we reveal, we see a Chane mirror coming through. We did not see this coming. If you listen to Ian in the pregame, he did not expect to be facing the Chane mirror, and he was surprised when he got in here. It was pretty sweet to see. Both players shuffling up. Ian won the die roll and did discuss. He doesn't know, after all the changes and all the new card releases, if it's still correct to go first on Chane, but he is going to make that choice. He's going to go first on Chane. On the right, we have Deadly Barracuda. On our left, we have Team Kitchen Fable. We're going to get into some gameplay. We notice a couple equipment differences. We'll see one right here off the bat. Grasp of the Arknight being triggered, allowing Deadly Barracuda to filter his hand a little bit. Maybe get something that he doesn't want. We see him shackle up. And then after this moment, the question is, are we throwing some kind of attack to try to poke damage? Or are we arsenaling to avoid letting our opponent leak? And it looks like Deadly Barracuda goes to Arsenal. And now, on the opposing side, turn 1 for Team Kitchen Fable. We're looking at a 4-card hand, but interestingly enough, we don't have that grasp of the Arknight. The ability to filter out that interesting or maybe suboptimal opening hand is not there. So we gotta see what we draw. So Vexing Quillhand could offer some damage down the road, but on this turn 0, it could not be the best scenario. And we do have a Captain's Call here played, and the mode picked is the buff. So we are buffing for +2 with Captain's Call. We are pitching Invert Existence and throwing Rosetta Thorn for a naked 2. It looks like our Chane opponent on Team Kitchen Fable does have maybe one of those suboptimal hands. It would be interesting to see how Ian plays this, but I can't imagine he blocks this. I feel like he keeps the 5-card hand and leaks the 2 damage. We got Spellbound Creepers on both sides, Arknight Skullcap, Carrion Husk, matching equipment other than the handpiece. We do move to Arsenal. Our Deadly Barracuda, our Ascent player, will take the 2 damage and will go to their turn. Definitely a suboptimal turn here on turn 1 for Chane. We go to first banish, and we banish a red Minnowism. It kind of gives us the notion that we are running Belittle Minnowism package in Deadly Barracuda's list. All right, turn 2. And there is another Minnowism. The game is full of Minnowism, and there's a Belittle. Guys, Belittle Minnowism combo in full effect, showing the red Riftbind. We are going to search up a Minnowism. A lot of options here. Are we searching up Minnowism for pitch, or are we searching up Minnowism for a buff? Now, we know we have the Riftbind, so we've got a card that can be activated by Minnowism. What are we getting? He is getting red. He's looking for damage, not for pitch. Belittle coming through, so we got Rune Chant and Belittle coming through right now. How is our opponent going to play this? They had a suboptimal turn 1. They have an option to filter here, and they have an option to keep and try to push damage. So it looks like they will be preventing the arcane damage, pitching an invert existence. That's the second one going to the bottom of the opponent's deck. That could mean a lot come late game. If this game goes late, those 2 invert existence coming back around could be a big deal. Belittle coming through does make contact. Opponent taking 3, opting to keep some cards, playing the red Minnowism that we found. That will end the combat chain. Making a Soul Shackle, throwing Rosetta with Minnowism on the board for 2 and 2. Throwing Rosetta with Go Again for 2 and 2. Go Again coming off the Shackle. Definitely awkward to block. These Rosetta Thorn turns, guys, trying to block this weird mixed damage feels just so goofy. It's such a weird thing to try to block. All right, we will block the 2 physical. The opponent will block 1 of the arcane, only leaking 1 damage. Gets a blue Mauvrin Skies. Notice 2 blues in the opponent's hand again. So it looked like the early hand was blue heavy. Wow, Swarming Gloomveil out of nowhere. Buffed my Minnowism. They have made 1 aura, so it does have Go Again here. Swarming Gloomveil for 6 with Go Again. Opponent does pitch the hand to stop the Swarming Gloomveil. There is 1 floating. We know there's the Riftbind. Here comes the Riftbind from hand. Should be 4, just the naked 3. Opponent takes 3. Will leave Deadly Barracuda with an arsenal target. Opponent has 1 shackle, 1 arsenal, no pitch floating. Let's see what the banish is. Opponent goes to banish. Does hit the yellow Riftbind. Is a great tool, very useful tool, especially in this matchup when you want to get tall. Any chance you get, opponent will shackle and pass. Opponent with the shackle pass, definitely playing on that back foot right now, but still sitting behind the blockade of armor available to Chane with the option to pivot at any moment. Banish is coming over for Deadly Barracuda, and it looks like a back-to-back banish whiff. We say a Shrill of the Skull form and a Command and Conquer, hitting the banish zone. No gas there, but a 5-card hand. Definitely an opportunity. If you're in Deadly Barracuda's shoes right now, you do not want to see that dead hand. You know you're on the front foot. You know that your opponent has an arsenal, has a 5-card hand, has 2 shackles, and has a Riftbind sitting in the wings. You want to stay on the front foot here, but sometimes you just draw that suboptimal hand and you can't go off. There's a million lines to play in Chane. He's thinking them through, and it looks like we are getting Belittle Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Back-to-back Belittles, but it looks like no Minnowism search here. Remember, we've seen 2 red Minnowism, 1 in the graveyard, 1 in the banish zone, and we saw a blue pitched Minnowism last turn, so we do have Belittle coming through. Just naked 3, Go Again, throw in some chip damage. Opponent definitely considering how to block, and will block with the Command and Conquer. Early Command and Conquer in this matchup is a weird card. It is something that's often traded for Husk, so there's value there, but you often have to put a lot of resource and time and effort into getting it off. So if the trade is worth, that's up to the game situation and the Chane player at any given time. Our Chane player for Team Kitchen Fable opting to block. We have a Shackle and then Rosetta for 2. Okay, so Rosetta for 2 coming through, opponent taking 2, and then Enlightened Strike. Looks like coming in for 7, no Go Again, 1 resource floating, 1 card in arsenal. Believe this Enlightened Strike is for 7. Good way to finish off a turn. Opponent at that point, you know, you're starting to get low in life, but you need to get some tempo back. Are we using life as a resource here? And I believe it's far too soon to be thinking about breaking that husk. Definitely a lot to consider when going to blocks. Your opponent reaching for that life counter, going to take 7, and our Team Kitchen Fable opponent looking to get back on that front foot, saying, now's my time to shine. I got my cards, I'm ready to roll, let's do this. What can the Banish Zone give him? We get red Unhallowed Rites. Ooh, we do hit a Shadow Puppetry, but red Unhallowed Rites could be some gas. Opponent has 2 tools available to him in the Banish Zone. Has a Shackle available. Does have Creepers. What will we see here from Team Kitchen Fable? Captain's Call yellow from the Arsenal. Looks like we are picking +2 on the Captain's Call. So the next attack action card will cost 1 or less. We'll get +2. Oh my goodness. Red Minnowism, yellow Captain's Call, Soul Shackle into that Rift Bind coming through. So Rift Bind coming through for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 9? Is that a 9 damage Rift Bind coming out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen? That is gas. 9 damage Rift Bind with Go Again. Lots of damage being thrown. Now, Ian, Deadly Barracuda is playing with a life lead when going into these blocks. You can really make a good hand evaluation here. You got a 5-card hand, you have a life lead, you assume the worst that will come next is that Rosetta Thorn, that weird, awkward mix damage. So you got this life lead. Is this the time to lean on the life lead? If you've got a great hand, maybe you lean on the life lead and you keep going. But we see another Command and Conquer block. Both players not placing high value on Command and Conquer. Maybe it's too expensive for a given hand. Whatever it might be, we're seeing both players block with CNC early. And remember, we've seen 1 banished on the side of Deadly Barracuda. So there are 2 Command and Conquers away, out of action on the side of Deadly Barracuda. Looks like we're blocking 3. We are taking 6. It was a 9 damage Rift Bind. Now the opponent's got a choice. If we want to throw the Unhallowed Rites or the Rosetta Thorn, we have to pitch the last card in hand, and we may lose an Arsenal target. Lots of value being thought about here. There's a million different lines. I mean, with 1 card in hand, you already have 2 lines that are face up. There could be a 3rd line that that we don't know about in the hand. What's it going to be? It looks like opponent will keep the gas, go to Arsenal. All right, opting to keep the gas, knowing that that pivotal turn when they try to get back on the front foot is coming. Deadly Barracuda going to Banish Step, going to Banish 3, still hitting absolutely nothing, and banishing an Art of War. Oh no, that is not what you want to see if you are the Chane player. We have banished Art of War with no gas. We're working with a 4-card hand. And we got Naked Bounding Demigon red from the hand with Go Again off the Mauvrin Skies from Arsenal. Mauvrin Skies, interesting Arsenal target. Lots of gas for Go Again. And I can't imagine our opponents playing defense here. They need to pivot. They want to keep this hand. 18 damage. Soul Shackle coming through here. Very awkward moment. What are we doing? Rosetta. Rosetta for 2 or 1, 2, and 2. 1 Rune Chant, 2 Arcane, 2 Physical. Will drop the opponent to that 13 life that's imperative for Husk. Will drop the opponent down. Blocks have to be chosen here. We have to figure out what we're doing. Go to 15. Block the 2 Physical. Keep us healthy enough to hold on to Husk. What a play. Oh, and then there's another Swarming Gloomveil from hand with Go Again that won't get anything, but they've made 2 auras. Deadly Barracuda, it's important to note, has made 2 auras this turn with the Soul Shackle and the Rune Chant off the Mauvrin Skies trigger. Swarming Gloomveil was actually coming in for 4. It does get Husk. There's a lot of value getting there, but we move in. We've kept this 5-card hand. This is the moment. If you are the Team Kitchen Fable Chane player, this is your moment to get back on the front foot, and you start by banishing a good piece. That Shadow Averser helps give you Go Again, helps you go extra wide and chip away at that life lead, and it's an odd number enough attack. It's small enough where that Husk is not going to feel great if Ian has to use it this turn. Let's get into this turn. I'm sure there's a million lines. You got 2 cards in your Banish Zone. You have a 5-card hand. You got 1, 4-card hand, 1 in Arsenal. There's got to be a trillion lines, especially once you start to consider creepers. I can imagine that this is going to have to be well thought out. This is a pivotal turn. The whole game could come down to this turn right here. So if you're Deadly Barracuda at this point too, you know your opponent is trying to pivot. You have a couple options here. You have Husk available. However, blocking with 3 cards, making a Shackle, going to Arsenal, and then looking to put full pressure on a turn where maybe you pop Husk next turn is an option. It's going to depend on what kind of hand you have, but it don't matter. We see Art of War right now from our opponent. It looks like the modes are going to be Banish 1, which is Red Riftbind. We have a Red Riftbind banished to draw 2. And it looks like the second mode chosen will be Go Again. So we've got Red Riftbind banished for draw 2 and Go Again being the second mode chosen on that first Art of War. Opponent digging into that banish zone, looking to play the Unhallowed Rites. Now, this will often happen. You haven't played a non-attack action yet, so the Unhallowed Rites is not a valid target to play out of the banish zone. And ladies and gentlemen, I've probably done this 500,000 times with that specific card. It always gets me. So we see the players just kind of change up that decision. We will throw Ghostly Visit from hand. 4/4 with Go Again off the Art of War. We haven't Soul Shackled yet. We're still sitting at 3. Go Again coming from the Art of War. Ghostly Visit coming for 4. 1 resource floating. A million cards possible to be played from Banish Zone. 2 in hand, 1 in Arsenal. This could be a big turn. Deadly Barracuda does opt to take the 4 here. It's kind of a naked 4. No hit effect. Not really sure how much more is coming this turn. Keeping the 4-card hand. Taking 4 damage. 1 pitch floating. Opting to, looks like we're reaching for Shackle here. Opponent looking to Shackle, does Shackle. Opponent shackles up to 4. And Runic Reclamation coming from the Arsenal. Now, it's important to note, if this hits, they destroy an aura and you create a rune chant token, meaning we destroy an opponent's Soul Shackle, giving Ian less opportunity to peel off the top of the deck and gain additional gas. Runic Reclamation coming through, 4/7, awkward number, can't just be eaten by Husk straight up, gonna get some resources here. Such an awesome play from the opponent. Runic Rec with Go Again off the Soul Shackle, 1 pitch floating. Here comes some blocks. We are getting 7 block value with the Arknight Skill Cap only blocking for 1, 2, 3 blocks. Shadow of Ursa coming from hand with, or from Banish Zone with Go Again, banishing another Red Riftbind. Let's go. Shadow of Ursa coming in for 2 damage. And Red Riftbind only coming in for 3. It looks like Deadly Barracuda will keep that Husk available to him. We'll take some damage. We'll keep a 2-card hand, but this is where Chane can be dangerous. We have a 2-card hand. We're peeling 4 off the top. What are we going to see? Coming off the top, we start with a Ghostly Visit, Razor Reflex, and a Riftbind. So we do get 2 pieces of gas coming off the top, but we do get 2 pieces that we don't want to see. That Razor Reflex, and for those that watched the Deadly Barracuda Chane deck tech, you know the story behind that Razor Reflex. But we're at an interesting pivotal point here, guys. Chane has 2 cards. If one of those is a blue, we could clear our banish zone and have an Arsenal target and still have Husk available to us. This turn could be nutty off almost no resources, and with our opponent at 12, we can threaten enough damage to really make them sweat. Team Kitchen Fable under the gun here, but playing great, really navigating some of these earlier poor hands and bringing themselves back into this game. Huge shout out navigating those hands on Chane. It can be so difficult. Now, Deadly Barracuda is thinking through all the possible lines. Those 2 pieces of gas coming off the banish zone are going to be huge. It's going to change kind of what we want to do. Let's see what we decide. Now, it's important to note again, Vexing Quillhand doesn't block here. That's what is interesting here. When we're behind the 8 ball, when we're on the back foot, Vexing Quillhand not blocking could be a detriment. However, if we're striving to get back on that front foot, we can soak a little more damage. The extra 2 points might be huge. And wow, it is Howl from Beyond. +3 Shackle with Riftbind for 3, 4, 7. 7 damage. coming through. Oh my gosh. This is insane. We will end turn, take 1 to Blood Debt, 7 damage coming through. We do get some blocks. Opponent going down to 11, drawing up. I would be surprised not to see Husk in the next 2 turns, if not this one. Now, opponent coming off the top of the banish zone, and there is an Art of War of his own. Both Chane players have banished an Art of War. Not what you love to see, but there is a Bounding Demigon. But with us being at 11 life, 4 cards in that banish zone that do Blood Debt, we need to start worrying about clearing that banish zone. You'd love to see a Mauvrin Skies here and a blue. To be able to Mauvrin Skies, that Bounding Demigon for free go again, throw something, make a Shackle, and then throw the Riftbind or the Rosetta based on what you're feeling. You'd love to see that. A Mauvrin Skies and a blue in hand here. Let's find out what our opponent has for us. Do have Minnowism, so Minnowism will make Soul Shackle, pitching Vexing Malice, and here comes some gas. The Riftbind is a flying. Riftbind for 7 of his own. We're going Riftbind for 7, back and forth. Back and forth. What's it going to be? This would be an interesting spot. Yep, we are going to get the Husk here. It looks like Deadly Barracuda, knowing what's coming next, is going to opt to keep that full hand. We got Bounding Demigon coming for 4. I cannot imagine we see a block here. Going to 17, keeping that full hand. We do lose Husk. Team Kitchen Fable does get Husk. That is a win, but we're taking 2 Blood Debt. We're down to 9. We're against the wall. We see second Art of War banish from Deadly Barracuda. Not a great sign, but we do see 3 pieces of gas in that banish zone. 2 Bounding Demigons, 1 blue, 1 red, a Ghostly Visit. What is it going to be? Wow, some gas just banished off the top, but we're seeing going first being important in this matchup. Oh my goodness, this turn could be it. Remember, opponent is at de facto 7 with 2 cards in Blood Debt if they're forced to block out. And here comes, there's the 3rd copy of Art of War. Ladies and gentlemen, 3rd Art of War coming through for Deadly Barracuda. He did banish 2, he does get to play 1. Both Chane players have played 1 Art of War. Oh no, the banish off Art of War is Shadowverser. Great target for this. Banish 1, draw 2, and the mode being +1. So Deadly Barracuda seeing no lack of go again in that hand, picking the +1, looking to end this now. And that +1, if we're able to throw 3 or more attacks, is gonna start to get funky. Let's see where we go. So it looks like we shackle up and we throw Ghostly Visit for 5. And when you're at 9, that Ghostly Visit for 5 does not feel great. We'll block with a Ghostly Visit of our own. Oh no, taking 2, going down to 7. Here comes Spellbound Creepers. What could be coming in off Spellbound Creepers? Mauvrin Skies is going to net us action points. Oh my goodness. It has go again. It gives the next thing go again. We had go again. Here comes the Bounding Demigon for 5. Hit, make a rune chant. We still have action points in the bag, as you see indicated on Chane by Deadly Barracuda. Guys, I would be surprised if this turn isn't it. It's these Chane turns that just feel overwhelming, but let's see how our Team Kitchen Fable opponent can navigate this. It does make a rune chant, takes 2, goes to 4. 2 action points at our disposal. It's not looking good. It's looking grim. It's looking dire. And here comes Lead the Charge for some additional action points the next time you play an attack to replenish some of those actions. Here comes Ghostly Visit for 1. Will replenish its own action point. Oh, still with 2. This allows us to throw something and Rosetta. We will block with Husk and Howl from Beyond, going down to 1, which does at this point make it impossible to win. Here comes the Rosetta Thorn. Ladies and gentlemen, it does look like Deadly Barracuda gets there in an awesome game. We're seeing going first in this matchup, being able to filter and having the tools to filter that hand being crucial. They're being exceptionally important in this matchup. And while one player is able to filter and able to kind of try to find that first hand to get on the front foot first, and the other player can't, that is a pivotal moment. We've seen a lot of great play here from both players. Shout out to both of those players. What an awesome game that we got to watch. And if you stuck around this long, make sure you stick around now as we meet back up with Ian for the post-game wrap-up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-game wrap. I am here with Ian, Deadly Barracuda, picking up the first HTTCG Ascent win of the week. Ian, how you feeling right now?
Feeling really good. I always feel that little bit of adrenaline in high competitive matches after you take a win. It's one of the reasons I love competing, and I'm drawn to games like this, honestly. Oh, when it's a good match or you play well, it just feels so good.
100%. And that's one of the awesome things about this FaB Competitive League, and an awesome thing about getting the chance to play against such a cool team like Team Kitchen Fable that suggested this off-meta week. So you went into off-meta week, you thought you were going to see Lexi, and you flipped a surprise. I wasn't recording yet, but you got in the room and you went, oh, this is going to be fun. I knew it was something cool. What were you thinking when you saw the mirror?
I was feeling very, very confident when I saw the mirror. I think I am officially the teammate with the most matches on Chane. I passed John a little while ago. And so I'm so comfortable in that matchup, and I was really excited. I was also excited that I didn't take my teammates' advice and play a deck list specifically tailored to beat Lexi, and then I left things pretty open because I feel like I might have had a bad time.
Well, because you didn't make the pivot into Lexi, you were able to close it out and get the win. Give us what you think was the most pivotal moment of the match that you just got out of.
Yeah, so I think there were a couple things. So I went first, and I still don't know if that's right or not. It certainly felt good that match, but and so that's really big. But then I was able to arsenal a power card on turn 1 and make a rune chant and get my shackles going. And I didn't let my opponent filter because I didn't think I could push any damage. And they happened to be stuck on a really unfortunate hand. It was not only an all blue hand, which sometimes Chane can get out of, right? We talked about Shrill last week in our video, right? You can still get some damage.
You can squeak something out of there, yeah.
But it was all blue and all non-attacks.
Yeah, there was a weird invert existence in there. It was not the kind of hand you want to see.
No, and invert can be fine. I run it in the mirror too. You just don't want to see it that early. And so he didn't have an attack, so he also didn't have grasp. Which I think was a mistake, but just because Chane doesn't deal that much arcane damage, so not only does he have this hand, he can't really filter it either, because he can't pitch to grasp. He's got Vexing Quill hand, and so I just gained so much tempo just right there off that, turn 0, and me not letting him filter, and then him physically not being able to filter his hand, and I was basically able to chain some 5-card hands together, even though I wasn't seeing very good banishes, and just sort of force an awkward block with the husk and get there. So.
Well, even though we talked about you not seeing banishes, I did mention in the broadcast the Vexing Quill hand, and it's a risky choice. You can't filter that hand, but if he was able to get on the front foot, it does offer a lot of weird pressure, and on a random swarming Gloomveil turn can activate more modes of swarming than you can see coming. So it's an interesting pick, but you did get there, you got the win, you got a big smile. Is there anything you want to say in closing this out for the week to any people watching? You're starting to get fans, by the way. People are commenting like, I know this guy, I love you. And so what do you want to say to your fans, people out there?
Well, I know there's a lot of folks locally who are picking up Chane cards. I see them trading around in our Discord trying to get a hold of them. So stay tuned later this month. I might be teaching this guy across the screen here how to play the deck. So.
All right, so if you're going to out it and you stay to the end of the video, you get to know first the masterclass. For patrons of HometownTcg, this month is going to be Chane. We have Ian, the back-to-back FaB Competitive League week winner on Chane, teaching a masterclass. So shout out to you. And if you want to learn more from Ian and get private coaching, you can do that too as well. Follow us at patreon.com/HometownTcg. All coaching and masterclass proceeds go directly to HometownTcG Ascent. They go to these guys to fund their events, to help them buy cards, buy those sweet, sick, well, actually, they don't pay for the jerseys as much, but those sweet jerseys that you're wearing are pretty sick.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for your support. Ian, thank you for your time. And until the next match, you guys know me. My name is Josh.
And I'm Ian.
And we will see you around. Congrats on the win, dude.